Did you know that for this movie, the name Razum is derived from the Slavic word razum, meaning brain, cleverness, and reason. So I never got a chance to see The Wild Robot in theaters. A lot of stuff was going on around then, a lot of stuff come out in theaters, so I didn't get a chance to see it. But I got to see it on Peacock not too long ago. Very, very good movie. And it's been nominated for an Oscar, and I hope it wins an Oscar. Really pulling for this movie. I have three things I liked about this movie. My last thing is definitely my favorite. First thing I liked about this movie is the creativeness is really the driving force behind this movie. You know, this movie all really stemmed from the author who drew a picture of a robot sitting in a tree just in the middle of the forest, and he was thinking to himself, you know, how would a robot survive in the wilderness? How would it interact with different animals? And so like just seeing how Roz interacts with the animals and then is eventually, you know, raising the goose, Brightbill, and just like how Roz approaches raising a goose. Like the interesting thing I find is like how Roz is programmed, like it's pretty, you know, she's pretty straightforward. It's like with her executing objectives, her decisions are not based upon morality, they're just based upon basic survival instincts, like basic logic. She also doesn't really know why she's there. She crash landed. No, she doesn't really know what her objective is either, so apparently, you know, to her this is her objective, to raise Brightbill. Super creative, like I said. It's not what I was expecting. When movies like this, they try to combine different worlds, that automatically gets me interested, but then I'm also like, okay, what are they going to do with this? How are they going to develop the characters? How are they going to, you know, what kind of messages are we going to try to get out of this? And just a 10 out of 10 for creativeness. And I love the messages in this movie. Lots of great reminders. Even if it's something you've heard 100 times over, you know, it's still something worth listening to, hearing again, and applying to your life. And the biggest one was fitting in. No matter how old you get, you always want to try to fit in with somebody or some kind of group. You know, you always feel different. Brightbill, in his case, felt different because he couldn't fly like other geese. He wasn't really like other geese because he wasn't raised by geese. He was raised by a robot. Roz also felt different too because she was not around robots. She was around wild animals. So she kind of had to adapt to how they think and how they operate, because like I said, how they operate is very different to how the robots were programmed and operate, but it's twofold, you know. Brightbill's trying to fit in, but Roz is also trying to fit in as well. And then just trying to find their place, trying to find their people, because there were some moments where it was pretty sad. Like, you know, Brightbill was always meant to be with other geese, right? But Roz didn't really fit in anywhere. She wouldn't fit in with the robots back home because she kind of reprogrammed herself. She doesn't really fit in with the wild animals here because she's not like them. She's a monster in their eyes for at least a good amount of the movie. So it was more focused on her finding her place rather than Brightbill finding his place. You know, and like what's her home? Like, where is she gonna call home? Is she gonna call headquarters once her objectives are complete? You know, she goes home. Is she okay with being there? Is that home for her, or is she, you know, attached to where she is now? The ending, I don't know. I wonder if we'll get a sequel to this, because the way they left off the movie, a tiny bit of a cliffhanger at the end, kind of leaving the options open for maybe a sequel. I gotta say, there's just so many beautiful moments in this movie going on, just between Brightbill and Roz, just their relationship that begins to bloom and flower and grow. I never get sick of seeing stuff like that. I never get sick of seeing relationships grow and love and bonds being formed, but then also other animals coming in to help Roz, and they all come together. That was my favorite scene in the movie. It was near the end where all the robots are invading. You know, all the animals teamed up with Roz. I mean, these animals were animals that ate each other. They were not friends, but Roz was able to convince them to join forces and come together and fight against a common enemy. Then also the blizzard scene was pretty beautiful as well. Another good scene that I really liked, where Roz is out there, but also is out there trying to get animals to stop fighting for a while and band together, because they're all in the same thing together. There's a blizzard happening. They all need to work together to survive and not fight. And then when the robots invade, they also need to join together and protect their home. So, like, I love it. Like the power of unity, the power of family, kind of. I mean, superb movie. Like, honestly, like I said, this movie is so good. I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen The Wild Robot yet, it's on Peacock right now. Check it out. Like I said, I really hope this movie wins an Oscar tomorrow, because it's well deserved in my book. So for The Wild Robot, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 Mudflaps. Remember, leave me a thumbs up and drop in the comments below. What is your favorite robot movie? See you soon.